Hi friends, welcome to my channel. I'm Angie, the Tiny House Stitcher, and I'm thrilled to have you joining me today. If you're coming back again, welcome back and thank you for joining me. And if you're new, welcome, and I hope you enjoy what I have to share. Please like and subscribe to the video, and if you ring the little bell, it'll tell you when I post something new. Again, just for those who are new, I'm Angie. I'm the Tiny House Stitcher. I do live in a tiny house. It is 398 square feet, and I am very comfortable and very thrilled and happy here. And if you look back at video number 2, you can see some more pictures and some more information about it. This is my Princess Sophie Jo. She's the star of the show. Everybody seems to love her. She's a good girl and she's my world. So that's Sophie. So before I get started, I just want to say I almost have no words for the amount of gratitude that my family, my sister and I have for all of you who sent well wishes and prayers and advice. And we have just been completely overwhelmed and are so grateful to each and every one of you. If you contacted me in any way, thank you. Even if you just said a prayer on your own for my family, I truly believe in the power of prayer, and we are so grateful for your help. We definitely need it and continue to need it. So I have an update. My sister has an update for you. I'm going to save till the end, so that those of you who are not interested can go find the next Flosstuber. Honestly, I can't say enough. I started this Flosstube because I was feeling like I was kind of out on an island with no Stitchy friends, no nearby LNS, no one to share my creativity with. And so I have made some incredible friends. You know who you are. I'm blessed and I love you. Thank you so much. And so many of you have just become such a huge part of my life, and I cannot tell you how much it means to all of us, to myself, my family. I don't have enough words. So thank you so much. So now I'm going to move on, and the first thing I want to talk about is Happy Mail. I received some wonderful little things in the mail, and it just brought me so much joy when it was desperately needed. So thank you so much. The first one is from my dear friend Pat, and Pat sent this adorable little card. He's a bear, and there he is. Sometimes you just need a hug. And this came at the perfect time. It was exactly what I needed. Thank you so much, Pat. And then I also received this wonderful gift from Judy. I was overwhelmed by this, and it's just wonderful. These are little pocket quilts. And I'm going to let you read that, if I can get the glare off it. There we go. So each one of these little quilts has a cross charm inside of it, so you can feel it, and it's just a lovely gesture and a beautiful gift. And she sent enough for the whole family. So I haven't seen them yet, but as soon as I do, I plan to share these with all of them. Judy, what a wonderful and thoughtful gift, and I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. And then lastly, Kathy Lounsbury was winner of one of the giveaways, and I sent the pattern off to her, and she's so sweet. She sent me a thank you note, which is totally unnecessary, but very much appreciated. Thank you so much, Kathy. She sent this beautiful little waxer, it's a little butterfly, so cute. She's so talented. She sent me her floss drops, which are gorgeous. Oh, I love those. I can't wait to use them. And oh, this is the most gorgeous little zipper pull. how cute is that? And she knows I like purple, so she put the little purple ribbon on it. So cute. I love this. So Kathy, again, unnecessary, but thank you so much. I truly adore these. Thank you. So that was my happy mail. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my glasses on. I know that the glare is terrible. I'm so sorry. If you can't stand it, let me know, but I can't really see without them. So I'm going to go ahead and put them on, and I'll try to avoid the glare as much as possible. So next, I wanted to give you an update on our unicorn hunt. So we have been successful so far in finding 4 unicorn charts, which makes me so happy. I was so excited about it. So I want to thank Sandy, Truda, Margaret, and Gloria. Thank you so much for sharing. It's such a joy. I'm so excited. And I do want to ask Lisa. I know there's probably a lot of Lisas out there, but Lisa, if you offered a pattern, please go check your comments or just email me. I'm finding that a lot of folks are like leaving replies saying, yes, I would like that chart, or yes, I have that chart, and they're disappearing. So just email me and I will do my best to connect you guys. I think that's probably the best option at this point. And then I did have a few, oh, Sophie's upset because I didn't leave her space to get up on the couch. I did have a few additional unicorns to add. So I'm going to tell you about those. And there was one comment back on video 5. Julie is looking for Salem Village and Moonsick by Primitive Needle. So she's looking for 2. And then on video 6, we had some more added. Kathy is looking for Without a Mouse by Blackbird Designs. Marla is looking for Old Friends by The Good Housewife. Susan is looking for 4 charts by Sam Sarah. They are the ones that I think they're the ones that Pam and Steph is working on. The Frosty line, Bee line, Spook line, and Hair line. So she's looking for those 4. She says she's willing to trade. So if any of you have any of those, please make a comment so the other person knows you either have it, that you have it, and then send me an email. And if you have a response to anything, just send me an email, because poor folks were getting really frustrated because they'd leave 3 or 4 comments and they were all gone. So I don't know what was going on with that, but just shoot me an email. That would be the best option. So again, thank you to all of those who participated. If you're curious about who's looking for what, go back to video 5, and I've gone through, I think we had something like 24 folks that were looking for unicorns, and I went through them all and put pictures up. So if you happen to have any of them, we'd sure love for you to share them. One thing I did want to mention, many of us, Lady of the Flag was the Lady of the Flag or Queen of Freedom. I always get them confused. I think it's Lady of the Flag. Anyway, she was so sweet and offered to send me the chart, and I was so excited. And she sent me over a PDF, and I thought, that doesn't sound right. And so I did some research, and Mirabilia does not provide their charts in a PDF form. So unfortunately, I will not be using that chart. She had no idea. It was given to her by a friend in her Stitchy group, and she had no idea. So thank you for trying, and I appreciate it. But I will not be able to use the PDF, and I'm sure you all understand that that's like taking money from the pockets of the designers, so I don't want to do that. So, but thank you again for all of you who participated. I really appreciate it. I did want to mention one new Flosstuber that I watched. Well, a pair of Flosstubers that I watched. It's called Linen and Scraps. And I think they just posted their 3rd video, and it's Kathy and Molly. And I didn't watch the first one. I watched episode 2. And from what I could gather, I believe they're neighbors. And Kathy is a very experienced cross stitcher. She does beautiful work. She is prolific, and her stitching is extraordinary. And her neighbor her neighbor Molly is brand new to cross stitching. And watching them was so fun because Molly was just so excited and so impressed with everything Kathy had to show her, and so excited to learn more. And Kathy's a dear and has been helping her with everything, and so they're just so fun to watch. And Kathy shows a lot of her past projects, and Molly's just astounded at every one of them, and as she should be. It was just so much fun. So again, Linen and Scraps, a new Flosstuber. They're on episode 3, and I will link them below. So welcome, ladies. Love you. Okay, next is what I did this last 2 weeks, I guess. I had 4 starts and 1 finish and 5 client FFOs. So I will show you those too. So to be fair, I have been busy and I have bags, which I'm going to show you shortly. So my first start is resting stitch face. I needed a small. I've been starting all of these BAPs, which for those of you who don't know what that is, those are big ass projects. And I needed to work on something small. So I have a start. This is my start, and you can't really see it, but most of the white is in as well. I have 2 more rows to put in. So that's my start. I don't have my card that tells me what the fabric is, so I apologize. If I can find it, I will put it on, maybe on the screen if I can find it. I am using all of the called for colors, but you know I'm a purple girl, so I put it on some purple fabric. And I love that one. I can't wait to get that one done. My second start is a sal that I'm doing with Marie of Stitches and Diamonds. And we started this on May 20th. And this is the Seeking Refuge sal. This is a beautiful pattern. I think I will be making a few changes, and I'll show you that. This is stitched on Fiber on a Whim 40 count brown sugar. So it has green modeling, you can see there. I'm not sure I'm a fan of this red. I think it's fine for the tree, but it's also what they use for the house. And so I think I'm going to try to change that. These are the colors. I'm using all of the other called for colors, except I did switch out one of the greens because the green was very bright. So those are the colors, but I think I'm thinking used brick would make sense because it's a great big brick house, but I haven't seen that color, and there's nothing that I have that's really, that I have on hand that's really brick colored. So we'll see. I want to try to find a good brick color, so if you have any suggestions, I would love to hear them. And I'd really like to do that very soon because this is one of the projects I want to take to StitchCon with me. I'm planning on doing all of the mortar so that, and outlining the roof so that at StitchCon I can easily just do some fill-in. But this is one. I'll bring some others as well. But if you have any suggestions, I'd love to hear them. So that was my second start. My third and fourth starts I can't show you because they are for the StitchCon Smalls Exchange. So, but I can show you another one that I had started before, I think before my last video, that I couldn't show you because it was going to be my StitchCon Smalls Exchange piece. Where did Sophie go? So I started this one for the smalls exchange, but then I started thinking about it, and it's from this book, and I'm sure you've seen this. Everybody just doing these right now, which is why I changed my mind, because I wanted to do something that, you know, something that people hadn't seen quite so recently. So I had started on this one, and the plan was to make it, this was going to be the back of a needle book. So I started this on 40 Count Newcastle by Picture This Plus in the color Ancient. And I got the little tomatoes done, and it was so fun. I was really looking forward to the spool, but once I made up my mind, I kind of had to move on because StitchCon is sneaking up and I need to get cracking. So that was a start before the last video. And then my whips that I've been working on my Whip Go board. I'm so sorry about the Flosstube itchy nose. On my Whip Go board last month, one of my whips was called Witches Early Americans by Little House Needleworks. This is chart number 9. This is the last chart, and this is the one I will be starting next. I already put away chart number 8. I apologize. But this is Molly Pitcher. So 5 days was called on my Whip Go board for this piece. I have put in 4, and I finished this block, which is Patrick Henry. And I mentioned before, I'm doing this horizontally to go over a wall that is over the entrance to my kitchen. So this is what I have done so far. I'm so excited. Only one more block to do. Oh, I'm losing it. There we go. And I had started this banner, and thank you. I can't remember who it was. Somebody sent me a suggestion about this border. Thank you for sharing that. And I haven't decided what to do with that yet. But this is the piece. So far, I'm on the last one. Yay. That'll be fun when it's finished. And then my last whip is my favorite, Let Love Rain by Teresa Kogut. I didn't get near as much on this done as I wanted to. This is being done on 46 count fiber on a whim in the color Cocoa. And I have changed some of the colors. I'm using some purples. So I think the last time you saw it, I had this flower and this flower done. So I've added all of the small flowers. I've added the yellow into all of the flowers, and I finished 3 more flowers. So I just have these 3 more flowers to do, and then I can move into the body of it, which I cannot wait. So this might be going to StitchCon with me, but at 46 count, it's going to be a hotel room at night kind of piece, because I can't see that, and I don't want to pull out all of everything I need to be able to see it at StitchCon. So, yeah, I love that pattern, and I'm really enjoying it. So that is my first 46 count. So it's been a little tight, but it's absolutely fine. It's working beautifully, and as you know, I don't have a whole heck of a lot of wall space, so I'm trying to keep things as compact as possible. So that was Let Love Rain. Those are my whips. My haul. I don't have a whole lot of haul this time, but I did want to talk about a couple of things. I participated in, if you watch Chris Cross Stitch, and if you don't, you must go see his Flosstube. It's fantastic. He just celebrated his 1-year Flossiversary, and he started a SAL that raises money for Dolly's Imagination Library, I believe is the name of it. And that provides books to children under 5 all over the world. So quite a joy to participate in it. It's wonderful. And he provides you with a chart that was that was created for him specifically for a story that he told about Miss Mary Will. And it's a lovely, lovely story about a woman who had a great impact on his life. And if you watch his episode number 50, you'll find out all about it. So I did purchase that chart. That's one of my haul. I can't show it to you because there's no cover photo, but it's beautiful blue. I can't remember what the name of that blue. I don't want to call it crockery, but porcelain. It's there's one with a teacup and a daffodil. That's a daffodil. And there's another one with a small, it looks like maybe a sugar, I cannot think today, you guys, I'm sorry. One of the sugar holders in the same blue porcelain, and it has another one. I think I'm going to combine the two daffodils into one of those vessels, but I haven't decided how to do that yet. So that's on my list of things to do. But Chris, I love you if you watch. Love, love, love. He's got the best sense of humor, and he does these wonderful stories about his past, and he does these kind of glance back at old toys that some of us used to use when we were younger. Such a joy to watch. It brings back so many memories. So that was one piece of haul. The other one, I've talked in the past about fabrics and how hard it is to find something without actually being there to see it, to find the right color or the right count. Oops, excuse me. So what I've been doing is buying small pieces of things. Sometimes they're ones that I have heard a lot about, which is the case in this one. And then to help you, because I would appreciate it if I saw this, I try to find the closest DMCs to it so that you can see realistically what the colors are, because cameras just don't do it justice. So this is 40 count Tyco, if I can get my fingers to work. This is 40 count Tyco, and it has some yellow modeling. So the closest DMCs that I could find were ecru, and then the modeling is 437. Now obviously it's a lighter color, it's a lighter shade, but that is definitely the tone of the modeling. So it doesn't even look like it in the camera, which is exactly why I do this. So I hope that helps you. Tyco is a mix of the base is kind of an ecru and the modeling is a 437, in my opinion. And again, different counts dye differently, different types of fabric dye differently, so it's not always going to be 100% accurate, but if you get the 40 count Tyco, it should be pretty close to that. So I hope that works for you. I hope that's helpful. The other thing that I bought is, I've been thinking a lot of, obviously I'm getting ready to go to StitchCon, so I've been thinking about what I'm going to take and how I'm going to be able to bring a lot in a small space and utilize it. So I found this on Amazon, which I've seen these before and I wasn't sure where to find them, but I finally found them because I think I searched collapsible pencil case or something like that, and it was only, I think, $7 or $8, and it's got corduroy down here. And so this, you unzip it and you pull these little tabs down, and it acts like a little cup. So I can carry everything with me, and then when I'm at StitchCon, I can just leave this on my space and have everything right here, and then when I'm ready to go, I just bring it back up, zip it up, and throw it in my bag. So I love this. I think this is great, and it's purple. So I will put the link to this in the description box below in case you're interested. Another thing that I purchased, I've been struggling, I buy all these cheap little scissors and they're not sharp and I have to like chip away at the getting through it. I can't speak. I can't think today. So I thought maybe I'll spend a little more money. And these are not expensive. I think they were $18 or $19 on 123 Stitch, but they're Bowen. So I bought these. And guys, I'm really disappointed in these. And I guess you get what you pay for because they're really not all that expensive. But the first thing when I got them, I don't know if you can see, but the paint was chipping off on the ends. Right as I pulled them out. There are some chunks taken out. There's some chunks missing from right here. And I don't know if you can hear that, but they're like, you know how good scissors are really smooth and they cut really well, and these are not those. So I probably won't return them because I would say they are slightly better than the $5 ones that I have that are not working. But yeah, completely disappointed in these. So, Bowen scissors. No. Now, these scissors are my favorites. And I cannot read this, but maybe the camera will pick it up better. I bought these when I went to the attic back in February. And they were not cheap, but I think they were $60. These are the best. I use these all the time. I try not to use them on things I shouldn't. But like when I'm working on my bags and I try to trim all the threads, I feel like I'm overworking them. So I try not to use them for that. But look at that point. It's super, super sharp. And that is so helpful when the frog comes to visit. And they're so pretty and they're so dainty. Look how thin they are. So love these Wassa, made in Germany. These are amazing, amazing scissors. So at the attic. And Jean gave me this sweet little protector. So I will be taking those to StitchCon. So that's all my haul. I didn't have a lot. As I mentioned, I'm going to StitchCon. Did I mention I'm going to StitchCon? And I'm trying to save my money to spend there. So that's all of the haul for this week. So next are my plans. And I've talked about it before. Myself and my dear friend Michelle, hi Michelle, we're co-hosting a stitch along. This is the hashtag Summer Stocking Sal, and it starts on June 1st. And so this is the one that Michelle and I will be working on. This is Quaker Stocking by Carriage House Samplings. And I did I think it was episode 4. I went through and showed a whole bunch of different stocking options that there are. I would love to have you join us. If you want to go back and take a look at that, there's still time to kit something up. Not much, but some time. Or you can start any time though, of course. And if you want to do a Christmas stocking, if you want to do stockings for anything, just join us. The one thing I wanted to mention too, for any kind of sal, when you use the hashtag, again, for this one will be hashtag Summer Stocking Sal. Many people use them in their comments, but I don't think a lot of folks know that you can actually follow that hashtag. And that's a lot of fun because you can see what other folks are doing. So if you do a search for hashtag Summer Stocking Sal, it will come up with a page of all of those hashtags, everyone who's used the hashtag in their post. And you can click follow and those will come up in your feed. So if you didn't know that, Now you do, and it's exciting. So I hope you go do that to follow both the Summer Stocking Sal and the Seeking Refuge Sal and join us in both of those. That would be great. So I'm going to be doing this, excuse me, this stocking on 40 count runs 8.5 by 22 inches. So that's enormous. So I will be doing mine on 46 count. This is Confederate Gray by Weeks. And I'm going to be doing purples. So these are my colors. I've shown these before. This will be the start on my next floss tube. And I can't wait to start. It's going to be beautiful. Now, I'm also going to be starting a second set of stockings. And these are Betsy's stockings by Plum Street. How pretty are they? You really like those. And I will be doing them on with the called for colors on 40 count Vintage Country Mocha. And here are the colors. So pretty. I'm pretty sure these are all DMCs. Yeah, these are all DMCs. So that one's beautiful. So I will have 2 starts for the Summer Stocking Sal. I may start the second one in July. I'm not sure yet, but those are going to be fun. So those are my plans, as well as I need to finish the second. I have a 2-part Smalls exchange piece, which is why I had 2 new starts that I can't show you. So I need to finish the second one. The first one is finished. It's not FFO'd. I need to finish the second one. I want to prepare the pieces that I want to take to StitchCon. As I mentioned, I want to do like the mortar and the bricks and outline the house so that I can work on that. And then I need to stitch one more day on Early Americans for my whip go before the end of the month. So busy, lots to do. I'm excited. You know, I say that a lot. You could probably do a drinking game with that whole excited thing. I'm so sorry. It's ridiculous. Okay, next, bags. You guys have been so wonderful. I have not received a single complaint about any of my bags. No, even constructive criticism. You are so kind. And I know there must be some. So bless you. Thank you so much. I'm glad you like them. I have been very busy and I have 13 new bags to show you today. And they will be available on my website, which is tinyhousestitcher.com. By the time this video goes live, hopefully. So wanted to show you those. I'm going to show them very quickly because I have a lot, and this is not a channel about bags, so I'll make it quick. So of course I always have to do a purple one. And for those of you who don't know, I make my bags with foam rather than batting, and it helps them to stand up on their own. It gives them a lot more structure, and they feel nice. So this is the purple one. I love this retro look. Here's the back. The next one kind of made me giggle because Jody of Steel City Stitchers got one of these recently, not from me, from another bag maker. And I've made these before. I've had this fabric on hand for quite some time. And they sold pretty well. So this is my Creepy Ladies bag. And these all come in 2 sizes. They come in the regular 13.5 square, which is this one, the one I've been showing you. This is the fall one. Here's the back. And they also come in a smaller size, which is 10.5 by 13. And these are my favorite. And I just wanted to mention them again because I think if you tried them, you would love them. And not a lot of people try them. They are big enough to fit a full-size pattern. And all of the materials that you need. You're probably not going to fit a Mirabilia or a Bella Filipina in one of these, but I love these. they're probably best for in-hand stitcher because you're not going to fit a Q-snap in here. But these are a great size, and these fit really nicely on a bookcase. So just wanted to tell you about that. I love this one. And guys, I know that this red does not match this red. This is more of a pinky red, but it's picnic table cloth. I could not use it on a watermelon bag. So that's that one. And we all love cardinals. This is my winter visitor. Here's the back. Oh, I love them. Oh, this is another one. Some of these fabrics this time I just love. So here's the inside fabric. And this is the outside fabric. Oh my God, they're so cute. Gotta do bees in the summertime. Here's the back. I fell in love with this fabric. It's gorgeous. It's like a patriotic batik. And then I have eagles on the inside. So here's the focus fabric. So pretty. And these cute little baubles. This fabric, I could not buy it. It was just amazing. So look at these ladies. At first, I thought it was a little risque because I saw this little dot, and then I realized that's her armpit. And I love the star placement on the bikini. So that is my patriotic ladies. So cute. Lots of patriotic bags this time because we're coming into July. So here's the America bag. Love that one. Teresa Kogut. Here's the inside fabric. Focus fabric. And again, these are available in both sizes, all of them. Here's another patriotic. And you can see in the background, it says "We the People." Pretty. And last but not least, another Teresa. Love the witchies. Interior fabric. Yay! They're so cute. So again, those are available. I do want to say though, if you do purchase them, I will be leaving soon and I'll be gone for several days. And so if you order bags after the 5th of June, they will not be mailed until after the 15th of June. So I'm going to give myself some time before I leave to prepare for leaving without having to pack up packages because that takes a lot of time. And then when I get back, I'm going to give myself a day or two of rest before I hop back in. So if you order after the 5th, they'll be mailed after the 15th, but you will get them. So I hope you're interested in those. I hope you love them as much as I do. And I'll put the website down below. Okay, next on the list. I wanted to talk to you a little, oh, before I move on, there's one other thing that I put in my shop. And I wanted to show them to you because I think they're adorable. And I reached out to several designers to ask permission to do these with their patterns. And I got one no. Several people did not respond. And Sweet Paulette with Plum Street Samplers did respond and said, of course you may. So I have some of these now available in my shop. This one is for Liberty's Welcome. This one is for This Is the Day. A lot of you are stitching. And I have many more. I have God Bless America, Always Remember. I'm going to do one for the Buzz Off and Eat Crow kind of series. I think I'm also going to do some for some of the Abe Lincoln ones, like the one that I have you may have seen in the past. So check those out on my website. Those will be available for you as well. Okay, now back to floss. I wanted to talk a little bit about floss, and the reason this might be a little beginner for some of you, so feel free to fast forward. But the reason I wanted to do this is because when I got back into cross stitch, you know, like many of you, this is what I was dealing with, right? Old DMC floss on bobbins. And I'm seeing all these floss tubers with these beautiful floss drops, and I want that. How do you do that? And I could not find anything. I couldn't find anything online about how to prepare floss drops, how to store them. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that with you. So you may have seen some of the other floss tubers have these beautiful like it's a piece of wood that you wrap the floss around to make them the right length to fit on your floss drops, or so the right length to stitch with, that you hang from your floss drops. This is mine. This is what I use. And really all I do is I hold one end, I wrap it around the edge until it runs out, and then I cut one end and put it on the floss drops. Some of the tips that I have heard, that I heard while I was getting ready to do this, while I was learning, was that you always, with the DMC, you always pull from the end with the number. Oops, I grabbed two. But that way it won't knot, or at least not as often. And then when I saw somebody do the trick with pulling out the one strand from the floss cards, I almost lost my mind. This is a pin, not a needle, but I'll show you. So when you have your floss, you just pick up one strand and you pull, and it comes right out. Changed my life. It was amazing. I was so excited. The other thing that I do with the floss drops is I add this extra hole here, and that's where I put my leftovers. Like if I haven't used the whole I guess group of strands, or the whole strand, I will put the extras there. So that's how I wind them. Now I went through all of my DMC and put them all on floss drops, and you know, you do that. When you initially do that, you end up with this mess, right? This kinked up, crazy mess. I know, it looks terrible. But you can iron these, and I ironed all of mine, and now I cannot tell a difference. If you try to use it like this, they tend to knot, and you know, it's no fun. But I did iron them. So I just did a bunch of them like this, laid them flat on an ironing surface, and ironed them all flat. It didn't take much time, but putting them on floss drops took some time, but the ironing did not. So I encourage you to try that so you don't waste all of that wonderful DMC. And I am slowly converting all of these ugly floss drops to my new ones that I received in the Great Floss Drop Trade, which was a blast. The other thing I wanted to mention was a little bit about overdyed flosses. I love an overdyed floss. I just love it. I think it makes things look a little more aged. I think it adds a lot of interest to pieces. And I know there's been a lot of talk about how best to use variegated flosses. I'm going to tell you my opinion. And that is there are 3 ways to use variegated flosses. If you really want a strong variegation, first of all, it depends on the variegation of the thread. If it's not very variegated, you're not going to get a huge variance in color, obviously. But if you want a lot of variegation, you want to stitch 1 cross at a time. So rather than traveling, doing 1 leg and then coming back and doing another leg, you want to stitch 1 cross at a time. And that will give you the strongest variance in color. If you don't necessarily need that much variance, but you want some interest. So for instance, I'll do the single crosses in bricks because I want that brick to look different than the next brick. And I will also jump around when I'm doing bricks so that they're random and completely different. Most of the time though, I stitch 1 leg one way and then come back with the second leg. And that still gives you a great deal of variegation. So I wanted to show you this. Now, as I mentioned, it depends on the variegation of the thread, but this is done that way. And look at the variation in it. I think it's beautiful. But this is also done that way, and there's not as much variegation. So you might want to try a spot. The other thing that makes a difference is the length of the row that you're working on. So if it's a shorter row, if it's like his head, you're going to get better variegation than you will if you're getting all the way through one of the colors in your variegated thread before coming back. I hope that makes sense. So if you're using, say this thread is a brown and a gray, if it's going through brown all the way over here and then you come back and it's gray, it's going to look different than if you were doing a small space and it's brown going both ways, if that makes sense. So if you really want to put a lot of thought into it and make it super, super variegated, there's ways to do it. But I just do across 1 and back 1 unless I'm doing bricks. I also wanted to show you how I store my floss. So I'm going to put a picture here, and what this is I believe it's a towel rack that I found on Amazon. And I just hang the rings on there, and you can see it's got arms, so it's easy. I can move one arm all the way back, or just fan them out, and it makes it really easy to look for colors, because you can keep them as close together or as far apart as you want. So I really love it. I think it works great. I'm adding a second one right now. I have a lot of DMC on the rack. I have very few overdyes, but that's because they're all in kits. So as I get through the kits, I'm hoping to put them back on the racks, but in time, right? Okay, I will put a link to that towel rack in the description box so that if you have an interest in it, you can go find it. They're fairly inexpensive, so they're a good option. Okay, we have reached 4,000 subscribers. I'm so excited. Thank you all so much. I am beyond the thought that 4,000 people want to watch my videos is ridiculous to me. So bless you all. Thank you so much for supporting me. It's been a joy. So I have a little giveaway, and I'm planning something big for 5,000. So be sure and tell your friends. Once we get up to 5,000, I've got some good stuff planned. So I have 4 things. One of them is something that was not claimed from the last video. So I'm just going to do, if I haven't heard from you by the next video, which is 2 weeks later, I'm just going to redraw. So I will include that one in this drawing. So that one is When Life is Done by Silver Creek Samplings. I'll let you read that. And I finished this one for my mom, and it was a joy to work on. So this will be number 1. This one is Spring Scissors Sampler by Nikki's Creations Primitives. It's hard to see because of that fabric, but it's so cute. And the glare. Cute. So this will be number 2. Number 3 is Spring Has Sprung. And you may remember from my past videos that living in California, I took out the snowman and I put in a bee skep and some bees. So I kind of charted a little bee skep and little bees, and I'll put that in there in case that's something you want to use. So it'll have both the pattern and my little charted bee skep and bees. And number 4 is the Mill Hill kit. If you haven't tried one of these, this is a great opportunity. These are so fun. They look intimidating, but they are not at all. In fact, I would call them a good beginner pattern. So that's number 4. And the question that I would like for you to answer is maybe about floss. Tell me about how your preferences for floss, how you store it, if you have any suggestions for me, if you like to stitch with 2 strands or 1. I prefer 1, but I stitch on higher counts anyway, so you usually use 1. And I always forget to tell you how I'm stitching my whips, so I will try to get better at that. I'm sorry. Yeah, so floss talk. Give me some floss talk, and put in the number 1, 2, 3, or 4 that you're interested in winning. Please be 18 years of age so I can ask for your address. Please do not use any words associated with the giveaway or free or win or anything like that. You know the rules. And please keep an ear out. Please watch the next video so that if you win, I can give it to you, because sometimes that doesn't happen. So thank you so much for watching. I'm going to give you an update about Dawn, but if you're not interested in that, I hope to see you next time. And what I will tell you about Dawn, where do I start? Guys, it was a nightmare. And it continues. She's doing better. But quickly, I will tell you, she was in the hospital, as you know, the last time we spoke. Sunday night, they transferred her to a Kaiser hospital 60 miles away, which there's one here where we live, where her doctors are and where her support system is. So no idea why they did that. And there was no one I could call because they're not open on Sundays. So they moved her to a new place. And when she was at the first hospital, they didn't have an advocate. So I spoke to a social worker. The social worker took her a form to sign so that I could have access to her medical records, because I didn't want her to have to start over again at the new hospital without knowing where they were at the first hospital, what they discovered. So when she was moved to the new hospital, I called and asked for the medical records. They didn't have any record of her signing off for me. I asked them if they would go and talk to the social worker department to get that information. He asked me for a name, which I stupidly didn't get when I was on the phone with her, and told me that without a name he couldn't help me. Now, they're all under one roof in a hospital, so why he couldn't go over there and ask for it, I don't know. So I never got the medical records. While she was at the second hospital, they didn't do much for her at all except for watch her. They were giving her steroids and just kind of watching her. And after, I think she was there for 3 days, they finally sent her home. Now, I, in the meantime, have filed a complaint with Kaiser, which it said I would hear back in 48 hours. That was 2 weeks ago, and I have not heard anything. She went in to see. So I'm going to play. She has recorded a little update for you. So I'm going to play that here.
Hey everybody, this is Dawn, Angie's sister, coming to you from my garden, which is outside where allergens are, and I'm okay. So that's a step in the right direction. Thank you all so much for your prayers. There is no way I can describe how good it feels to know that there are strangers out there who are praying for me to get through something that I've been fighting for years. I got a new pulmonologist out of it, and my allergy doctor has been amazing. I've gotten a new shot, so hopefully we're headed in the right direction with all my medicines and the new protocols, and hopefully I won't end up in the hospital again. But thank you all, and my sister. As you all know, she's an extremely special person. And thank you for being on my side, Ange. Love to everyone, and thank you again.
Oh, my sweet, sweet sister. It just kills me. And it's like trying to fight a battle with your hands tied behind your back. So since she recorded that, she had a doctor's appointment. And she has been diagnosed with 2 different types of asthma, and one of them, I can't remember what the name was, but it really just means that it's severe and it's resistant to treatment. The other thing that she's been diagnosed with is called mosaic asthma, and I'm going to describe it. It's a little gross, so you plug your ears if you don't want to hear it. But what it is over the years she has a buildup of very hard, like mucus in her lungs, and that's what was causing her the pain, according to her doctors, and also the fluid that was in her lungs, which I failed to mention. I'm so sorry, there was so much going on, but she did get a CT scan at the first hospital because they were concerned that she might have a pulmonary embolism, which is blood clots in the lungs, which she did not, thankfully, but she did have fluid in her lungs. And so this mosaic asthma is the cause of the fluid in the lungs. So her doctor told her when she had her appointment that mosaic asthma is extremely bad, but it is treatable. He had no record of her being at the first hospital at all, which is where the diagnosis was made, where the CAT scan was done. Kaiser has no record of her being there. So he wants to do another CAT scan, and then he's going to come up with some form of treatment. In the meantime, she is on a peak flow meter, which she explained to me as diabetics have to check their blood sugar all the time, and asthmatics, severe asthmatics, should check their oxygen levels regularly, because even if she feels fine, her lungs may not be doing fine. So she has to check her peak flow all the time. So that's what she's been doing. Now, in that video, you saw her in the garden. She loves her garden. She does not spend more than 10 minutes at a time in the garden, and she usually wears one of those big face masks to do it. So that's kind of where we're at. Frustration, yes, but she's home and she's managing. And so as long as there's some progress, and don't think that I'm going to back off at any time, because that's not in the cards. I'm done messing around. I may look sweet, but I can be nasty if I need to be. Not that I also know that any individual that I'm speaking to is not the cause of her issues. It's years and years and years of poor treatment and poor management. So I can say I can be nasty, but I'm not going to be nasty to an individual person who had nothing to do with her issues now, if that makes sense. Anyway, that was probably unnecessary, but I do have a roundabout access point to the president and CEO of Kaiser Permanente. So that may be the route I take. And if it is, it is. So I don't think it would be great for me professionally, but that's what I need to do. And I'm not screwing around anymore. Excuse my French. So anyway, I will keep you posted. Again, for all of you who were so kind as to say prayers and just bless us with so many wonderful thoughts. We are so grateful. And I hope you'll continue to pray. You know, like I said, it could happen anytime and it could be her last time. So I'm not putting down the sword anytime soon. So thank you all so much for sticking in there with me. I hope you have an amazing, amazing Memorial Day. I do want to mention, not only are we remembering on Memorial Day those who have fought and some lost their lives to protect our freedom, but I also want to remember all of the victims and the families and friends of the horrible, horrible acts that have been happening across this country in the last several weeks. All I can say is, you know, what is it going to take to make some changes in this country? So my thoughts and prayers are with all of those people who are grieving. And that includes all of us who are grieving for what's happening to our country. So anyway, I hope you have some great barbecue and enjoy your weather. I hope it's good weather for you, and do some great stitching. And we will see you next time. Don't feed Jill. She's mellow today. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye.